Of course, the Occupy UMass is interested in acting in solidarity with the Occupy Wall Street movement and the occupations everywhere around the globe, including London and Oakland and Portland, Oregon, and Denver, Colorado, all over the place.
I mean, what we're doing here today depends on who you ask. You know, everyone's out here for a different reason. I think a bunch of the reasons include student debt issues. Frankly, I am here to protest corporate presence on campus. I find it disgusting that we've sold ourselves out to Coca-Cola and Bank of America. At the same time, I'm here to lend my support and my solidarity to the Occupy movement nationwide and worldwide.
For the moment, it's really just organizing with the majority of the students to see what everyone is concerned with. Because the few of us who have been out here, we all have certain concerns, like for example, seeing UMass being completely privatized in a way as a state university. It's really increasingly becoming more of a private business profit-making university, not really a higher education institution. So there's a few things that we could agitate around, but for right now we're really trying to get more voices included and see what other people are concerned with as well.
We're very sympathetic, as is Move On, as is Rebuild the American Dream, you know, Van Jones and so on. There's a lot of very large organizations throughout America who are not directly involved in Occupy, who are sympathetic and who are trying to build a much larger coalition who will eventually go out and convince a large majority of America that we're on the wrong course. And not only the Republicans are the ones we are opposing, but we are opposing much of what President Barack Obama and the Democratic Party are doing, though we're, of course, much more sympathetic to them.
Well, you know, as I say, I definitely support student activism. I think it's terrific when students get involved in stuff. Obviously, I've seen their tents as I've been walking back and forth from Thompson to Herder. I think, like a lot of people out there, I really don't know what they're trying to do other than sleep outside at night. You know, no one has ever approached me as I've been walking by and handed me a flyer or tried to talk to me or anything.
The tents are like making the private space, this individual private space, and relocating it into a public setting that is somehow transformational. That it maybe symbolizes that how the political aspect of our private lives, how politics are a part of our daily lives.
I was a little surprised when I first saw the tents because I know this administration has been pretty heavy-handed in past years. This is before you were here at UMass. This is probably like, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, about making sure that there are no student protests and demonstrations on campus. So I was kind of surprised. I figured that somebody must have made some arrangements with somebody because I couldn't imagine that they would have just allowed that to happen without some prior agreement. But I don't know anything about it. It's just my speculation.
I haven't spoken to the police or public safety officials in the last week or two about this. I mean, my general understanding is we're fine with where they are now, and there's no discussion or intent to move them along at this point.
And they seem to have not had plans to remove us at all. They said unless it got more like too many people or too rowdy, but we were completely peaceful and weren't doing anything wrong, so they had no bad energy.
Yeah, we've had some flags stolen. We had a flag, like 2 flags stolen. Our whiteboard was graffitied with a Sharpie that took, somebody had to scrub it off to get it off. It was, somebody drew a penis and it said, "Occupy my dick."
Well, I've been thinking more about the flavor here because it's interesting data. It tells us something larger. You know, why is it that it has sort of this pathetic look to it, and why is it that so many people who really don't know much about it deride it out of hand.
But I generally disagree with what they're doing, mostly because I think they're aiming at the wrong people. I think people are mad about what's going on with our economy and what's going on in the world in general, and they're taking it out on people who aren't really responsible for it.
We are pretty much in line with the national average. I think that's about $25,000 when a student completes his or her undergraduate studies. About 65% of the full-time undergraduate population received some sort of financial aid in 2010-11. On average, the percentage of need met for students awarded any need-based financial aid, that involves all types of aid, was 89% for full-time in-state students.
And there's a lot of different things that could make UMass I think, more honest and a better university that's actually dedicated to the mission of educating students instead of making it into a money-making scheme. So there's definitely a few goals, and short-term and long-term ones. It's hard to say what exactly will come of it, but.